students, greetings to all. Here is a beautiful story before all of you, taken from the book Honeydew, meant for the students of grade 8th. The name of this story is This is Jody's Fawn. Students, this is a very interesting story, the extract of which has been taken from one of a popular fiction, The Yearling, written by Marjorie Kennan Rowling. This story tells us about a little child and his consciousness, and the whole story revolves around the emotions and feelings of a little child. Let me introduce you with the characters of this story. As the title says, Jody, he is playing the main role in this story. He is a little child. Next one is a baby fawn, the life of whose mother has saved the life of Jody's father. Jody's father, Penny, has been bitten by a rattlesnake. A rattlesnake is a very poisonous snake, and whose poison was being drawn out by this brave child, Jody, by killing the doe and by using its heart and liver in order to draw out the poison from his father's body. Next one is Doc Wilson, under whose treatment his father is getting the treatment and is recovering. Ma Baxter, the Jody's mother, and last but not the least is Melville, Jody's uncle. The story begins with Jody, who is unable to keep the memories of the baby fawn from his mind, so he slipped from his table and went aside to the bedroom of his father. He asked him about his well-being. The father said affirmatively that he was feeling better now. He also appreciated Jody for his brave act, and he said that he is much proud upon him. Jody asked his father that if he was able to recollect the memories of the baby fawn. At this, his father says that how could he forget that fawn whose mother had saved his life? He was able to recollect the memories, and at such a point, Jody actually wanted to convince his father that he is a grown-up child now, and he wanted to bring that baby fawn back to his home in order to raise him, as he feared that he might be starving and he might be feeling alone without his mother there. His father was in great dilemma. He was not able to say no to his son, so he gave him his permission that he would go to the forest along with his uncle Melville, and he should also take permission and tell his mother that Pa has told him to go to the forest in order to bring back the baby fawn from there. Jody moved towards the hall where he sat beside the table. His mother was pouring coffee for everyone, and he asked his mother that he wanted to bring back the fawn. His mother, who was very surprisingly, she asked which fawn, and Jody told her that the same fawn whose mother had saved his father's life. Mother was unwilling to for the baby fawn to be at home, but Doc Wilson helped Jody in persuading the mother. He told that nothing in this world comes free. Whatever we are receiving, we must give also. Here, the fawn's mother had saved the life of Jody's father, so they should also do something. for the fawn, and and they could take care of that fawn by bringing it to their home and raising it there. Here, Melville also accompanied him in convincing the mother, and he also told her that he would accompany him to the forest in order to find that fawn uh, and bring it at home. Mother very helplessly put down the kettle on the table, and she told Jody that she would allow him or at only one condition. And the condition is that the Jody would need to share the part of his milk with that fawn, because the baby fawn is very young and there was nothing for him to be fed in the home. Jody at once accepted, and he said that definitely he will be sharing the part of his milk along with that fawn. Millville and Jody uh, went straight towards the forest. Millville mounted on the horse and pulled the Jody on the backside of him. Both of them went straight. On the way, Jody asked his uncle whether they would be able to find the fawn there at the same place, and and Millville, his uncle, was hoping that they might be finding it there. On the way, Jody realized that if he was able to find the fawn, then he would not like to share the pleasure and the happiness with his uncle. And again, if he would not be able to find the fawn, then the disappointment and the tears, again he would not be able to share with anyone. So he asked his uncle Millville to leave him alone in the forest, uh, and he wanted to find the fawn, baby fawn, alone there. He also convinced his uncle that he is a grown up child now, and he would be able to find the fawn, because he knows it very well, to which direction he had seen that fawn, and he also reminded his uncle about the direction, especially it was the north, when he had seen the fawn there. His uncle feared that he might be losing the direction, or he might be bitten by a rattlesnake, but he convinces him that he would that not to worry about him, and he would be there before the dinner time. His uncle went away, and he now moving towards the direction towards the north, where his father was being bitten by a rattlesnake and he had killed the doe. He found the group of buzzards circling round the dead body of the doe, and he uh, he scares them away by throwing a bow upon them, and the buzzards, flew away and ascended towards the nearby tree, waiting impatiently to come back there again. Jody found the footprints of a wild cat there, and but he was not able to find out the footprints of the fawn. He moved to another direction from where he had first seen the uh, baby fawn. He moved towards that direction, parting the grasses and the long bushes aside, and he heard the bleating sound of a baby fawn, and it was a great excitement when he saw the baby fawn in front of him. It was quivering and shivering, and it was looking and gazing at him with his bright and tearful eyes. Jody also was feeling very hesitant, but he wanted to convince him by sharing that it's me, not other than else, and not to fear for from him. He wanted to take care of him, so he extended one of his hand. He extended his hand and put on his back and patted him gently, as it was a china deer. His skin was smooth and delicate, and it was scented of a green grass also. He lifted him under his arms and started moving, parting the grass around him, bushes around him. He was feared that the fawn uh, might be bleating and kicking also on the side of his dead mother. So he took another way to the intersection of the roads, and it was a thicket. He need to face the great difficulties also, because the legs of the fawn were surprisingly were very long, and they were stucking into the long bushes and vines. Facing very great difficulties, he was able to come out of the forest and reach the intersection of the roads that was leading towards the home. He was feeling very tired, so he set the baby fawn down and told him that he would carry him again after taking rest. At that time, he remembered his father's sayings. His father had told him that a baby fawn will be following him only when he will be carrying him, and uh, he will follow him. So he again went towards him. He patted on his back, and he found that yes, it worked, and the baby fawn was following him. He felt very happy. He wanted to play with that fawn. He wanted to talk with him. Whatever he could do, he wanted to do along with him. So he took him again under his arms, as the baby was very weak. And after a long walk, he again set him down on the road and saw that the baby was following him again. So as the baby was bleating and crying, and so he took him again in his arms and went ahead. It was the month of June. Very The season was very warm, so he was wet with the sweat. But the morning cool breeze of June's morning was making him uh, uh, slightly calm and peaceful. The sky was as clear as could be seen, the clear water in the blue china bowl. Here, after finally, he was able to reach his home, and said, suddenly, an idea came to his mind that he would go into the house, into his father's room, and the fawn would be following him. But as the fawn was very weak and fragile, he was not able to uh, climb up on the stairs of his house. The so Jody need to carry him under his arms again, and he went straight towards his father's room, carrying him in under his arms. His father was laying, keeping his eyes closed, and as Jody came into his room, he awakened and found the he was able to see the happiness in his son's eye, and he felt very contented and relieved that he had given permission to his son, who is a very brave child. After that, Jody went to the kitchen. The baby fawn also followed him. There, he poured some milk, the share of his milk, into the gourd, and baby fawn was unable to lick it. So Jody helped him in drinking the milk. He poured his finger into the milk and then into the mouth of the baby fawn, and the baby fawn was able to lick it. And soon after, he again poured it into the bowl itself, the gourd itself. Gourd is a kind of a bowl. So the baby fawn was able to lick the whole milk, and very patiently he fed the milk to the baby fawn till the whole gourd was emptied. This is all about the story, students. In conclusion, we this story is a great lesson that teaches us about the human consciousness and how sensitive little children are with their true hearts, true feelings, and loving nature. I hope, students, you all will like this story very much. Thanking you and have a nice day.